Welcome to the Empowered with Erika podcast. My name is Erika FB, and I'm an empowerment coach, mindset mentor, personal development enthusiast, and holistic health advocate. I've spent the last several years healing my mind, body, and soul, and have learned so much along the way. From healing trauma to navigating a sober lifestyle and learning how to step into my personal power, it has been transformational. If you are looking to heal, to be inspired, to uplevel your life, and become the most empowered version of yourself, you've come to the right place. I created this podcast to help you know you are worthy of rewriting your story and to help you navigate your own empowerment journey. You are worthy of living your most authentic, aligned, and inspired life, and I can help you get there. Whether you are diving deep into personal development or just need a weekly pick-me-up, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I cannot wait to transform together. Let's get empowered. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Empowered with Erika. Your host, Erika here, and I'm really excited for today's episode. This one is off the cuff, guys. I don't have any prior notes or anything like that, but I wanted to share something really big with you guys that happened this week. It's pretty life-changing for me, and I think it can kind of share a lot of lessons in this incident that happened. Okay, so for those of you, hello, and welcome to another episode of Empowered with Erika. Your host, Erika here, and I'm very excited to connect with you all on today's episode. I'm going to share a pretty big life thing that happened and kind of dissect it a little bit with y'all and talk about some of the lessons that it has taught me and what maybe you could take from this as well. So, as you guys know, I told you guys last week how much I've been loving working from home, how it's been so healing, how it's been so freeing, and how it's just really decreased a lot of stress in my life, and how really like this year of 2022 has been a huge year for me, transformationally. And if you're into astrology, I'm in my Saturn return, where a lot of big life changes happen when you're in your Saturn return. And let me tell you guys, I am seeing that. It is freaking wild. Okay. So this week, something really big happened for me, something that I've been praying about, meditating on, whatever. I've also been working towards in therapy for healing for many, many years, and is about 18 years in the making. Little backstory, again, without revealing too much or invading people's privacy, but actually a lot of you guys, I don't think, know this about me. I may have hinted at it on the podcast or talked a little bit about it on the podcast, but a lot of people don't know this. But actually, I have not seen my biological father since I was 10 years old. I'm not going to go into why. It was a big thing. It was pretty traumatic, if I'm being honest, and it affected me a lot. It created a lot of like abandonment issues, a lot of self-worth issues. Like I just really did not value myself as much. I did not see the value in myself. I really let this moment that did change my life forever. It did, overnight. I kind of like lost a whole family. It's pretty traumatic. It really changed how I saw myself. It changed how I viewed myself. It changed all these things in my life, and it really flipped my life upside down. And it really was a big part of me feeling unlovable, feeling unworthy, all these things, and just the narrative around it. Now, it's not all on him. There's a lot of players in this game, and a lot of things that happened that led to this going down, and a lot of people's input and insight that also led to me feeling the way that I felt. So I'm not blaming him. Okay, we are past the moment of hate and anger. I did that phase, mostly in college. But anywho, so something I've been working towards in therapy was potentially reconnecting with him. I wasn't really sure what that looked like, what that meant, because honestly, there's been a lot of fear and anxiety around that concept. And so when my grandma, his mother, passed away at the end of 2020, it affected me a lot. Even though we were estranged at this point, we had some limited communication, her and I, and we had no bad blood. It was just like because of family dynamics and all this stuff. Like I hadn't seen her in years. And it was really hard for me because I was really close to her growing up. I had a lot of amazing memories with her. And her passing away before we could really restore a relationship killed me. And I remember when that moment happened, I was talking to my therapist. I was like, what if this happens with my dad? Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because a lot of people don't understand why I even still cared. Um, because he hadn't been in my life for so long. But I've always loved my dad. I've always wanted some sort of relationship with him. And even though he's an imperfect person and I'm an imperfect person and we all have our faults and things happened that were difficult on all of us, um, I still wanted I still wanted something there, and I wasn't sure what that would look like or if that would be reciprocated. Okay. So this week, it is the week of, right now it's what, October 12th. So earlier this week, him and I had a very long conversation, and I will give him major props, major credit. I had reached out to him last week. I was like, hey, would you be open to talking sometime about everything that happened? I was pretty young. There's a lot I don't remember. There's a lot I don't know. I've also only heard one side my whole life. I'd love to kind of get your perspective, especially as an adult. I'm working to heal through all these things. And again, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time and I've talked to my therapist about for a long time, but there was a lot of fear around it. There's fear of rejection. Um, like I said, I have a lot of abandonment issues from this whole scenario. And so I was also scared, like, of getting re-abandoned and re-rejected, and as well as like what people would think of me, what my mom's side would think of me, what others would think of me. And honestly, I think one of the beautiful things about this past year and other situations that happened was me just not caring as much about what other people said or did or thought about me, and realizing, like, at the end of the day, it's my life, and I'm done letting other people have control over my life. And not that they were telling me what to do, but like, I stopped caring about other people's opinions, truly. And I was like, no, I want to reconnect. And I had reconnected with my aunt, my dad's sister, a little bit a couple months ago, and that's been really healing and really great for me. Um, because again, like, was close to her growing up, so it's just been a very healing journey. And I finally felt ready to have this big conversation. It was a very big conversation, and there was a lot going into it, and I was very unsure of how it would go. Okay, I was so unsure of how it would go because it's sticky. It's very sticky situation. There's both, like, lots of people involved, and it caused a lot of hurt in a lot of people's lives. Like, he was hurt, I was hurt, so many people were hurt by this situation and everything that happened. And so I was like, is this something I want to even address? Because I'll be honest, guys, part of me had just resigned to the fact, like, nope, like, I have an amazing stepdad. I do love my stepdad. I've always called him dad. I've actually always called both of them dad. Weird take. Like, I just always called them both dad because I just in my mind had two dads. I never really saw them differently. But when I did lose that relationship with my biological father, it was really hard on me. And a lot of people didn't get that because they're like, well, you have a great stepdad. And he is amazing, and I'm very grateful for him and for him raising me. But that doesn't take away, like, the pain and the hurt. It still doesn't take it away because I did know my dad. I had a relationship with him before we stopped seeing each other. I had a lot of memories, and like, I grew up more with his family in a way because he was like, they were in my area. So I saw those cousins, those grandparents way more than I did on my mom's side. So that being said, it was very difficult. It was extremely difficult to go through, and it really broke my heart losing him and losing, like, all those relationships. And I just kind of lost hope that I would ever gain them back or that it could ever be not super fucking painful, to be honest. And like, I had gotten to the point as an adult where I was like, well, life happens, like, it's unfortunate, but I'm okay. Like, the past, like, everything has made me stronger. And I've definitely brought this up. Actually, this was the first podcast I ever recorded. I talked about this quote. And I hope I don't botch it because I didn't write anything down. I'm just speaking from the heart right now. But it was from the Tony Robbins documentary. Amazing. Obsessed with Tony Robbins. He's great. And he talked about, if you're going to blame them for the bad, you better blame them for the good. And so I blamed my dad for fucking years. I blamed him for so much for so long. And I definitely had that angry, I fucking hate you face. I did. I've moved beyond that a long time ago because I don't know, I just came to acceptance with it and I really started healing. And a lot of that came with therapy and my sobriety journey. Because as I've shared with you guys, a lot of my sobriety journey was realizing I was using alcohol to numb and to not feel. And this was a big part of that was I didn't want to feel all these feelings with my family situation as well because it was really painful. And so, anywho, this week, like my dad and I sat down and we chatted. I mean, it was over the phone that for quite a while. And obviously, I'm not going to go into details of any of it, but I did want to share with you, like, it was such a healing conversation. And I'm not trying to have any expectations going forward. I don't know what will happen or what will happen, and I don't want to have those expectations. I don't want to get disappointed. And I also don't want to like put anything on anyone else. Like, I don't know where he's at, like, because it was a big conversation for both of us. But the door is now open. And that's a really beautiful thing. And the conversation itself was incredibly healing on both sides. There's a lot of forgiveness on both sides, a lot of grace, a lot of humility, a lot of ownership. And I mean, honestly, it was better than I could have ever imagined. And so, like, honestly, like, my mind is still blown by the fact that this all went down the way it did. Like, because I was so scared for so long. I had so much fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, just so many things. And I had made up this version of him in my mind because it had been 18 fucking years, since I really had any sort of relationship with him. So I was like, I don't know what to expect. And it was really hard. And so having then this big conversation, I was like, oh my God, like what? How is this going the way that it's going? I'm so confused right now. I do not know what's happening. I mean, this is awesome, but like what the fuck? And it's been pretty mind blowing, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm still wrapping my brain around it. But why I wanted to share this with you guys, one, because it's going to affect my podcast going forward. It's going to affect me. It's a very big thing in my life. If you know me, like, this has been a major, major, major source of pain for me. And I was telling my best friend about it, and I might get choked up a little bit. But she's like, Erika, you don't know how many people have prayed for you over this situation. And I was like, yeah, dude, like, damn. She's like, my mom, me, like, we've all been praying for you for this for years. Like, and I have too. I don't really pray as much anymore, but like, I put it in prayer baskets for years. I've definitely like meditated on this concept. Sorry, I'm getting emotional, but it was not small. It was not small, and it was incredibly healing, right? And I think it's just a testament. It's a testament to one, anything is possible. So if you guys have these situations in your life, and I need this reminder too with another situation I have that is so painful right now for me, but anything is possible. So stop putting in your head like predetermined outcomes in your head. You do not know what's going to happen. You don't know unless you fucking try. You don't know unless you open up your heart and you're vulnerable. And you don't know if you let, like, and it's not even just opening your heart and being vulnerable to other people, but being vulnerable with yourself and your healing. If you do not get to the root of your own healing journey and realize what it is that's causing you pain or discomfort, or what it is that's keeping you stuck, if you don't allow yourself to go into the depths of that pain and that emotion, how the fuck are you ever supposed to get to the other side? How? And so I've been working with my specific therapist for I think about 5 years now. And the past 5 years have been fucking hard. I've had a lot of shit happen. I've gotten sober in that time. I've moved several times. I've lost relationships. I've gained new ones. I've grown as a person in so many different ways. And it's been amazing. It's been beautiful. But that doesn't mean it was easy. No part of it was fucking easy. It was all very, very frustrating and hard and sad. That being said, though, I cannot believe I am where I am today. If you would have told me, shit, even a year ago, if you would have told me that I am currently talking to certain people in my life that I'm talking to and currently not talking to other people in life that I'm not talking to, I've been like, what the fuck? Basically, the whole script has been flipped, and that is so strange, right? And a lot of it still painful, but good. It's really good. It's really good to grow. And if I didn't allow myself to be so vulnerable for years to really get at the depth of what was hurting, why I felt that way, what I can do to go forward, and all these different things, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be this increasingly healed individual, this person who even had the strength and the courage to have this hard conversation. Do you know how much, quote, easier it would have been to not have a very vulnerable, open, honest conversation with someone in my life that really hurt me? And like, honestly, I probably hurt him too in a way. Like, do you know how painful it probably was for both of us for years? It was a lot and it was really hard. And again, I'm not saying magic wand, everything's better overnight, but regardless of what happens going forward, the conversation alone was so incredibly healing and it really challenged me in a lot of ways because all these things that I was telling myself and all the quote evidence that I had has been just debunked. It's all been debunked. And basically all the stories in my head, all the ammo that I use, pretty much most of it's gone now because I've just learned new things. I've developed new things. New information has come to light where I'm like, oh, things are not as I thought they were. Okay, some things were not as I thought they were. And it was really fucking scary. And I'm so grateful to have so many supportive, amazing people in my life, like my therapist, my relationship, my friends, certain family members. Like, honestly, I don't think I'd be where I am today without them. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of them because they are part of the reason I have strength. So really, I recommend surrounding yourself with high vibe people that uplift you because it makes all the difference, especially on a healing journey. When you have a supportive group of individuals when you're healing, it literally can change your life 100%. And so, with that, guys, like I am just so scared but excited, and I just feel at peace, like for the first time in a long time. So, this is just my reminder to you and my message to you: do not give up hope. If you have a situation that is just hurting and painful and it seems like it's never going to get better, don't give up hope. And I'm telling myself that right now because I have a different situation that feels really painful and I don't know what's going to happen. And it sucks. It fucking sucks if I'm being honest. But I'm staying firm in my boundaries. I know what I'm worth and I'm sticking to it. I have no problem with that. And like this little lesson though has taught me like, okay, just because things aren't good right now with X person doesn't mean it's going to be forever. And I'm focusing on the positive. I'm focusing on the fact that the doors may be open to have a relationship with my dad again. And I don't know what that's going to look like. Again, I'm not making assumptions. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not here to put anything on anyone, right? Like, because I'm sure in a different way it has its own like difficulties for him, right? So I'm not trying to have any sort of expectations, right? But just knowing that it's even a possibility that we're even on speaking terms, that's huge. That's huge for me. And you may not get it, and that's okay. Not everyone will. But it's really been really transformational for me. And it's really helped me in so many ways to just heal. Like the conversation was so incredibly healing, guys. So I want to remind you, one, don't lose hope. Two, this kind of ties into that. Trust the universe, trust God, whatever it is you believe in, because I really believe that when you put that trust and you just let go of the outcome, when you let go of needing to know how things are going to turn out, they always turn out better than I could ever expect. Because let's be honest, guys, I never expected the outcome in the conversation I just had to go the way that it did. No part of me expected that. I mean, at most, I was just hoping we wouldn't like yell at each other. To be quite honest, I just wanted to leave the conversation not super fucking scarred. That was my goal, was let's not leave this conversation feeling worse about myself. Like, and it completely blew me away, my expectations. And kudos to him. Like, I'm giving him mad props because it was, I don't know, I was impressed. Anywho, so again, though, when you learn to let go of needing the outcome, of needing to control the outcome and having expectations, it's a beautiful fucking thing, because when you let go, it gives the universe space to come in and make it even better than you could have ever fucking imagined. Even better. And guys, what's really cool is this conversation happened during the during the full moon, while the moon was in Aries. And what was beautiful about that is my mentor, she was telling us how, okay, when was the new moon in Aries? It was quite a bit ago. What happened then? What was going on then in your life? Now this full moon in Aries is going to be kind of wrapping up that cycle, and some lessons that started in that new moon were really wrapped up this full moon cycle with this conversation happening. And that was about a 6-month span. And the past 6 months have been transformational to my life. I honestly wish I could share more with you guys, but I just can't. I just can't for other people's privacy purposes, right? But it's been transformational. And that's where everyone's like, why are you some woo-woo bitch that believes in astrology? This is fucking why. Because I didn't expect this conversation to happen on the day that it did. I didn't expect it to happen on the full moon. I didn't expect it to go the way that it did. None of that shit was planned. I knew that it might happen this week, but it wasn't set in stone. Like, I've been trying to maybe set this up for a long time now, but this time I was a little more like, no, can we make this happen? When works for you? This is my availability. And this is why I believe in all that, because I have been shown time and time and time again that when you just let go, you trust the flow of the universe, you trust the flow of the lunar cycles, it brings so much peace and joy. It really fucking does. It really does. And so if you have struggles in your life, know that it can get better. And I hope that it doesn't take 18 years for you. Because that 18 years, like, I'll be honest, part of me does struggle with a bit of resentment, not at him, at other individuals, of like, I lost 18 years with this person, and that pisses me off. But I am trusting that everything happened the way that it was meant to. I know a lot of people hate that, like, oh, everything happens for a reason. Well, what about the bad? Okay, well, again, let's go back to that Tony Robbins quote that I kicked off this fucking podcast with. If you're going to blame him for the bad, if you're going to blame him for the bad, blame him for the good. Everything happens for us, not to us. All this shit happened for me, not to me. I can fucking promise you that I would not be the person I am today if it weren't for all the pain, if it weren't for all the disappointment, weren't for the, like, all those shitty things that happened and all the negative emotions that came from that. I would not be who I am today if it were not for that. I would not have the insight. I would not be the person I am if it were not for those circumstances. So as painful and as shitty as it was, in a way, I'm grateful because it built me into the woman I am today, and I'm happy to be the woman I am today. And it was just the most healing feeling, guys. Like, even like within my body, I just feel lighter. It makes no fucking sense. But this is what I mean when I talk about the mind, body, spirit connection. It is all intertwined. It is all intertwined. And I know that I've had blockages in my root chakra. I know that I've had blockages in my heart chakra. And I just feel finally so much fucking lighter. And it's not like this was something I thought about a lot or talked about a lot. A lot of people didn't even fucking know. Like, a lot of people didn't even know that my stepdad was my stepdad. Like, to be honest, a lot of people just, because I've always called him dad, people just didn't question it. Right? I don't know why. I just happen to be taller than everyone else in my family and have a different complexion. Well, that's because I look like my biological father. Here we go. But the point is that, guys, things happen, and we can either use it as an excuse, we can use it as a reason to be fucking shitty and sad and to continue the negative cycle in our lives, or we can use these hard moments as the motivator to build a better life and a better situation and to break those generational curses. It has been such a transformational experience for me because, again, like, it is just more than I ever could have imagined. I really wish I could just put it into better words, but I can't. And so I just want this to be a motivator for you guys. If you've given up hope on something, don't give up. You never fucking know. Because especially if it's regarding a relationship with someone in your life. You like, it takes two to tango. And like, he could have approached the situation so much differently. And if he had, it probably wouldn't have been the conversation it was. So that's where, again, I applaud him and I applaud divine timing. I really do believe that we are divinely, like, everything happens in divine timing. I do 100%. I 100% believe that. So, guys, if you're someone that has been stuck in a negative pattern, so as you guys know, I do chakra readings on TikTok. I love them. And if you want a personal chakra reading, please let me know. I think actually next episode, I'm going to talk about the chakras. I'm obsessed with them. They're amazing. They've been huge for me. But in my chakra readings for the collective, so like for the group, lately, before this had even happened, I'd gotten the communication card, which is with your throat chakra. I'd gotten the love card, which is with your heart chakra, like opening up your heart, having open communication, open dialogue. I had gotten the peace card a couple times, which was really that, hey, peace is coming, peace is on your way, peace is always available. And let's look at what has happened. And I didn't know that what was going to happen before I started pulling these cards in the last like week or two. Having open and honest communication, opening up my heart, being vulnerable, sharing how I felt, has then led to healing and peace. So don't, like, fucking listen, people, listen to the messages from the universe. Stop expecting things to go a certain way. Stop, especially being in a negative mindset. Stop having a negative mindset about everything, because you never fucking know. And sometimes the universe will surprise you. The universe loves to surprise us. Okay? So stop going in thinking that you know what's going to fucking happen, because you don't. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how things are going to go. And it may be better than you would have ever fucking guessed. It may be. So this is just my reminder to you all to not give up on your healing journey. I know sometimes when it's been years and years and you feel stuck and you feel alone, one, you're not alone. Two, you're not stuck. It's okay. Like, we will get through it. Lean on those around you. Lean on your positive support system. Get yourself a good therapist. And honestly, look at treating both mental, physical, and spiritual health. It is fucking important. But this was just a huge and really affirming moment for me. And I'm very excited to keep going with this podcast. I'm excited to keep growing Empowered with Erika. And it just was a testament to all the hard work I've done for years. And I don't know what he's been doing, but I'm going to give him a shout out as well, as a testament to the hard work he's been doing. And I just really am so appreciative for you guys, because I hope that this motivates you. I hope that this is like, this little testimony or sharing is just an encouragement to keep going. When you feel like giving up on something, don't give up. Don't give up. You may need to rest. You may need to take a bit of a pause, but don't give up. You are worth it. You are worth feeling that love. You are worth that healing. You are worth it. And that's where, again, even if nothing else changes in my life in this situation, the amount of healing I got, worth it. Worth the fear of being vulnerable, worth putting myself out there. So I just want to share that with you guys, because it was huge. It's been life-changing for me already. I know that things are just going up. Like, honestly, guys, I have been so shocked by the past like month or two. I've been loving my new job. I'm so happy. Like, things have been going great in so many different areas of my life. And that doesn't mean that it's all easy. It's not easy. I'm still working through other things with people. I'm still healing situations, but this is sometimes why I think we are given these difficult things, because it helps you then enjoy and appreciate the positive times. So just remember, if you're in a season of storms right now, like, you will get to the other side. I'm not even saying I'm there yet, but I do think it's coming, because there's just been too many positive things coming one after another after another. And I'm just so grateful. So thank you guys for listening. I'm so grateful I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And next week, we're going to talk about the chakras. And we will talk all about that. We'll learn more. And if you have certain topics you want me to talk about that you're interested in, if things pique your interest and you want me to do a bit of a deeper dive, please let me know. And I'm reading an incredible book right now all about the moon and living in accordance to the moon. And as you guys know, I do a moon magic practice. I love it. It has been incredible to sync my life to the lunar cycles. And this book is about that topic, but going even deeper. So I cannot wait to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you guys for sure. It's just so good. I'm obsessed with it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for taking the time to be a part of our community. Don't forget to check the show notes for the resources I shared in today's episode, and of course to connect with me on social. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at erika.vishkalis. You can also find me on Facebook at Erika Vishkalis. If you want to be a part of our online community, check out our Facebook group, Empowered with Erika. You can also find all of our offers and community links at empoweredwitherika.com. I always love hearing from you, so don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and tag me with your biggest takeaways from today's episode. Let me know what you loved and what you want to hear more about, and share it with someone who you think would love it too. I cannot wait to share more with you. I will see you next week, and don't forget to stay empowered.